In a world full of noise, to be wise is to appreciate the power of silence. As Stoicism teaches, there is great wisdom in keeping silent in 6 crucial situations. As Marcus Aurelius stated, "When you do not know what to say, silence is your wise choice." This understanding highlights the wisdom of not speaking when thoughts are disturbed, words are potentially hurtful, opinions are irrelevant, evidence is insufficient, silence is requested, or when words lack substance. By reflecting on this concept, we are invited to explore the wisdom of Stoicism in the context of everyday life. Let's explore these 6 key points together, enriching ourselves with the realization that silence often brings unheard wisdom. Together, we will understand the beauty and power of keeping our words to ourselves, along with conveying the essence of Stoicism's wisdom. 1. When your judgment is impaired. In Stoic philosophy, wisdom is the art of judging when it is best to remain silent. As one who values inner calm, we are reminded to ponder for a moment before letting words leave our lips. Consider, when our minds are shrouded in fog, is it wise to speak? Moods disturbed by fatigue, external influences, anger or anxiety can cloud rational thought. In silence, wisdom flourishes. Stoicism teaches us to refrain from speaking words that we may regret later. Sometimes, waiting a moment before speaking allows our ideas to mature, and if they remain relevant, we can express them later. In the Stoic philosophy, maintaining silence is a sign of wisdom, avoiding potentially caustic words and making room for wise consideration before speaking. In silence, we find deep wisdom. 2. When asked not to speak. In a noisy world, sometimes we are faced with moments where silence is the best answer. There is wisdom hidden in silence, where we may be asked to hold back and remain silent. Moments like these set the stage to reflect, listen, and understand our deeper role. When it comes time to be told to be quiet, it is not a sign of weakness, but a call to explore the other side of communication. In quietness, we can find the strength to listen carefully, internalizing the lessons that words cannot speak. In silence, there is strength to understand that sometimes refraining from speaking is a wise move to create deeper understanding. In those moments where we are asked to remain silent, let us see it as an opportunity to learn, reflect, and appreciate the value of wordless presence. Because sometimes, the greatest wisdom can be found in meaningful silences. 3. When your words will hurt. The art of speech can be measured through the choice to remain silent when words can hurt. As the Stoic philosopher said, when we choose to speak, we must choose not to hurt. This reflects the principles of poise and self-control, where wisdom lies in the ability to understand that words have great power. Instead of allowing emotions to lead words, Stoic wisdom teaches to filter every utterance so that it does not become an instrument of destruction. In moments where sharp honesty can hurt, remaining silent is a sign of true wisdom. Recognizing the healing power in unspokenness, we can maintain peace in our interactions and build bridges to deeper understanding. A wise Stoic outlook that leads us to speak, not just because we can, but because our words have true value. 4. When there's nothing to say. In the noise of words that often fill conversational spaces, sometimes silence is the most beautiful language. We don't always have to speak up just to fill the void. Sometimes, wisdom lies in the ability to sense the moment when words no longer need to be thrown into the air. It is an art to make room for thought, to give ourselves the opportunity to soak in the essence of silence. It is not a sign of weakness to admit when we have nothing to say. Rather, it is a form of wisdom that reflects an understanding of the power of silence. In a world that is often dominated by the desire to speak out, admitting that it is time to be silent can be the most impactful statement. In return, we can give support to voices that have meaning, creating harmony in conscious silence. By recognizing that sometimes silence is the most poetic answer, we allow words to be meaningful only when they are truly needed. 5. When your opinion doesn't matter. In the noise of information overload, sometimes it's wise to recognize that not every one of our opinions carries the same weight. As the voices of the world continue to cheer, there are moments when silence can be the best option. Despite the ego's desire to speak up, recognizing that our opinions may not always be relevant is a step towards wisdom. In the bright light of facts, expressing an opinion when we don't have an adequate understanding of the situation or when experts have provided a more in-depth view can be counterproductive. Recognizing that there are times to humble ourselves does not mean succumbing to weakness, but a wise act of determining when we need to give place to voices that are more urgent and have greater impact. In a crowd of opinions, sometimes quiet is the best answer. It is wise to refrain from speaking up when our opinions cannot enrich the discussion or have a significant impact. For sometimes the greatest wisdom lies in the willingness to humble ourselves and celebrate the majesty of silence. 6. When there is not enough evidence. Enduring silence has its own wisdom, especially when we are faced with uncertainty, like a blank canvas that challenges us to detail without guidance. When we are drawn into situations where there is insufficient evidence, cracks in the truth begin to appear. When it comes to aspects of life that can affect the well-being of others, we are faced with big decisions. Deciding to speak out without sufficient evidence is not only like dancing on the edge of a cliff, but also illustrates the potential for unforeseen repercussions. In that quandary, we are faced with the ethical responsibility to reflect, sort, and determine whether our words are worth voicing. Because sometimes maintaining silence is more than just wisdom. It is a form of discernment that involves sensitivity to the lives of others. By recognizing that truth without sufficient evidence can backfire, we open the door for deeper consideration and wise judgment in the pursuit of justice and truth. In silence, there is unheard wisdom. Reflecting on 6 crucial situations, we learn that in silence lies the power of Stoicism. When the mind is distracted, Stoicism teaches us to hold back, allowing ideas to mature before they are expressed. When asked to be silent, we see it as a learning opportunity, listening carefully without words. The art of Stoic speaking is measured by the ability to remain silent when words are potentially hurtful. Silence also becomes a beautiful language when words are not needed or opinions are not important. Finally, in doubt without evidence, cracks of truth appear, and maintaining silence is a form of ethical wisdom. Let's explore the beauty of silence together and understand the power in keeping words. What is your experience in contemplating the wisdom of Stoicism in daily life? Don't forget to give a like if this content inspires you, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next inspiring content. Share this wisdom with your friends who may need it. Thank you, and see you in the next content.